A lot of you are going to see 6 or even 7 figures of unrealized profit over the next few years. And weirdly, that might be the most dangerous moment of the entire cycle for you. Not when you're down 70%, but when you're finally right. Because imagine this. You've been holding the same meme coin for a year. Nobody cared. You looked absolutely insane. Then suddenly the market wakes up and your $30,000 position becomes $100,000, then $300,000. Then you open your phone one morning and there's $1 million sitting there and you think, I fucking did it. So you sell. Maybe you buy the car, post the screenshot, tell everyone how smart you were, and for about 2 weeks you feel like a genius. Then your coin doubles. Whatever, I made my money. Then it doubles again. Now you're doing the math. That million would have been 4 million, then it doubles again. Now you're staring at $8 million you would have had. This is where the psychological damage starts, because now you're not watching a chart, you're watching an alternate version of your life, and eventually you can't take it anymore. You FOMO back into the market. But there's a problem. You can't bring yourself to buy the original coin, because let's say you sold it at $1 and now it's $8. Buying it back feels like admitting you were wrong, so you find something else. Something earlier, a lower market cap. You think, oh, well, this one hasn't moved yet. And this is where people absolutely destroy themselves, because the thing you sold may have been appreciating because it was the winner. Its community survived, its distribution matured, and its liquidity deepened. The identity became stronger. And you end up selling it not because the thesis broke, you sold because the number got big enough to scare you. And then you replace the strongest thing you owned with something weaker because the weaker things look cheaper. Meanwhile, your old coin keeps going. $8 becomes 15, 15 becomes 30. Now you're tilted. So you size up in the new position, it dips, you add to it again, another wick down, and you add again. Then all of a sudden the liquidity disappears and the narrative dies, and it's over. And the insane part isn't even the money you lost, it's the opportunity cost you paid. You could have turned 6 figures into 7, 7 figures into 8, maybe even 8 figures into 9 figures, and instead you round-tripped the entire cycle because you couldn't tolerate watching something go up without you. I think this is going to happen to an unbelievable number of people this cycle. Everyone prepares psychologically for losing, and almost nobody prepares for winning too early, because a life-changing uPNL creates a completely different kind of pressure. You start feeling like you need to do something, like you have to secure the bag or rotate it, find the next one. But if you've actually found one of the handful of meme coins capable of becoming a dominant asset of the cycle, then you just hold it. There's a massive difference between the thesis changed and the number became emotionally uncomfortable. If the community is still growing, if the distribution is getting stronger, if the asset is becoming more culturally relevant, and if the original reason you bought is actually becoming more true, then why are you leaving? Because you're scared of losing money you didn't have 2 months ago? The hardest trade of this cycle is not going to be finding the winner. The hardest trade is going to be sticking with it once you found it. Markets are full of people smart enough to identify something early. They're much shorter on people psychologically capable of holding it through the entire cycle. You don't need to control every candle. You don't need to catch every rotation, and you definitely don't need to prove you're a genius every week. Sometimes the biggest outcomes, actually most of the time, the biggest outcomes come from finding the winner and just holding it.